Hey guys, let me turn it down a little bit. Um, that's what I was afraid of. Um, that'll be good. Um, if I could, I would be playing a bunch of Caleb's music, but because of copyright issues, I can't. So we're listening to Artless music. Um, the song I used in the trailer. So these are the full songs from the trailer, and we're gonna turn it down just a little bit. So yeah. Um so if you guys are here either now or after, just there are gonna be spoilers. So if you don't want to listen to that before you read the stories, it'll be available in my highlights or on YouTube. I'm gonna publish this stream unedited on YouTube. But and there is a reason why I'm doing this so quickly after um I've released the return. It's because it's still very fresh in my mind and I've never done it before, but I want to do this. I've been wanting to do this ever since I started writing. Is share the story behind the story, the author's story. And this one was just a lot more impactful than I ever intended it to be. So cat going crazy in the background. But so when I started working on Caleb Phantom, that was in May. I think it was the second week of May of 2020 when I settled down and started writing. It was just something that just came to me. I had found Caleb through another channel and started watching him for about a month, and then I found the Horror for Hiles 2014 2000. God, I can't remember. And I did this for the book. I think it was 2014, and that just sparked the entire idea, and so I ran with it. That one took me a week to write, uh, just because it was just Caleb and the Phantom, or the Hiles Hero, in which I named him in the book. But and so it was just a lot easier to write those two perspectives because they were just how do I say this? Um, it was just really fresh in my mind because I have been in this kind of industry, and the worried that fans get a little bit too crazy and involved with the creator that they like. It was just kind of it's a fear of mine anyway. Ever since I read Misery from Stephen King, it's just kind of a something that laid in the background. It's a fear of mine, and I've dealt with fans like that, not for me, but for Jacksepticeye. I've come across fans that are a little bit too attached, and so it's just one of those things where I wanted to write a book like that. So I hope I did justice. I had fun with it. Um, it was just an interesting one. The thing is, when I write a book, I always have the ending in mind, and I knew that the book was going to end in a fire. I didn't know what was going to cause it or how. I just knew it was going to end in a fire, and the Phantom would end up pushing Caleb out the door. That's just what I knew going into the story. And so that was my drive to find out how that happened. And so it was just fun from there on out. Um when I ended the first book, which was only 20 pages long in a normal ledger, uh like a writing document, um I kind of ended it kind of vaguely because I wanted to have people think just it to generate a discussion about what was going on and what might not have happened and stuff. But I didn't intend to write a second book to this one. I never intended to. But when it comes to books that I write, I've never successfully written a sequel. And if I do, I don't do it for like years later. And even then, I never do it completely through because I end up losing inspiration and stuff. And that's also something that I do fairly often. I lose inspiration for stories. So to have to having to done the return in, I think I started in March. I finished it in April, so it took me about a month to write. I had some issues in my personal life that kind of kept me from being able to write. My computer went down. My graphic card died. Um, I hurt my foot really bad, and so I had to focus on getting that healed so I could walk, because that's how I process ideas. And so, and I was also dealing with my own trauma at the time, and so, well, I still am, but the trauma that kind of mirrored Caleb was a betrayal from a friend. And when I uh, when I finally focused on that and got the tool to kind of uh, help me get through it, I was able to finish writing uh, the return. But what what was cool is when I decided to write the book, I didn't know the ending. I had no idea where it was going. I just knew that the Phantom was coming back, and there was going to be one last fight, one last meeting, but Caleb was going to be on equal ground. That's all I knew. I didn't know where it was going to take place, how, or even the outcome. So that was kind of a surprise for me, because as I was writing it, the ending wasn't there until, I think, until chapter 3, the ending started to uh, develop in my mind. So like, ooh, I'm excited to see where this goes and how I can make it work. Um, and I found it just kind of ironic to kind of just have it done the at the therapist, where you are supposed to be safe to go get help with your problem, and yet it's turned out to be you were being kept down. And so, and that also plays on fears is that counseling doesn't help. But in this case, in the case of Caleb, it is traumatizing. But I would also never want to go get help, but I did, and it's been the best thing for me. So I would highly recommend it, even if you don't really need, even if you're not really like depressed, if you just need to talk to somebody. It's actually really nice. But this book just kind of mirrored what was going on in my life, and so it just kind of hit home um, for me, and I was worried that I would lose it. I would lose the story, but it didn't. It did fade for a moment, but I easily brought it back and was able to finish it. Um, I won't go into detail on what we're going on, but it would just stuff that just kind of coincided. But when it comes to me writing books, this is the first book that I've ever written in. I have to do math, I'm not good at it, but I've been writing since I was 14. I picked up a pencil just out of the blue and just started writing and just haven't stopped. Um, they were my escape because my life at the time wasn't the best. I was going to school, getting into high school, the entire teenage years. I was battling depression, which I didn't know that's what it was. I was going through body dysphoria, which was also hidden, and so I hid in my stories. And when this story came about, I was actually able to write it with just full on passion and purpose, where I would no longer needing to hide in my writing. I could just write and just let it breathe. So for I'm happy that it has worked so well right now. And so, but when it comes, what is, what was I gonna say? Oh no. I'm really proud on how this story came out, and for what I'm doing with it next. I'm excited to do it, and I had ideas to talk about, and I'm just kind of rambling and don't know how to do the fucking segue to get into another thing, so forgive me. But the the battle that I have at the end of it, the duet. Um, oh yeah, that was it. When I was deciding on the length of time between the first and second book, at first I thought it was gonna be the 10 months. Like from the time I wrote the first one to the time I started writing the second one, would be a 10-month span. However, that was the first book took place in 2000 and in 2014, and I wanted it to hey, I wanted it to kind of take place in present times because I wanted to use one song. There was one song that I wanted to use, and it was "Let Me Through." Um, Absolutely have fallen in love with that song and have done an edit to it. Um, it's on a lot of my playlists that I listen to just because I just love how he sings that song. So that song kind of coalesced with what he was going through, and so I just wrote it a duet, having the Phantoms and Caleb. The formatting of the song, however, was not what I wanted it to be, but it was just the best I could do with where I published them. So I'm hoping that people understand that where Caleb and um, the Phantoms parts are, but and I just figured that it would be good to just bring it up into present time and have a longer break in between the first to where he has to deal with this mental healing for 5 years and have it not work as well as he would like to. And so but trying to think of what else I can say. Um I'm let's see. What can I say? I'm thinking, hold on. Um and when I did the trailer was actually really fun for me to do, and it was the first time I ever premiered something on my channel. It wasn't as in-depth of edit that I have done in the past, but it was just one of the ones that led up to a story. So, um, I when I was working on the trailer, I got emotional like I did when I wrote the ending, which I changed because it was just kind of flat, and I didn't like that because I wanted to show a little bit more of Caleb's struggle and his spirituality. I wanted to get that a little bit more into it, as I am not religious at all. I grew up in a religious home, but I have since stopped practicing. So, but I wanted to pay respect to what the character is, and so I did that. But that is one thing when you're writing fan fiction. Um, you have to keep in mind that they are real people. And yes, even though I have taken the character of Caleb and transformed it into my own sort of character, I still kind of don't stray too much from the real life person as out of respect for them. But and that's also something that's bad when I find a character a when I find somebody who inspires me, I put them into a scenario that's not relatively the best. That's just how I write. like in Jack's case, he's not in a very good situation in his story, but so uh God, I have so much more to say. I just can't think of where to go because I'm just there's no clear path. It's just all over the place. But that's just how I am. Because because I could have written it down, but then I would lose it and not want to do it. Um, I could have waited a couple of days, but another story is starting to take its place, and I didn't want to lose just I didn't want to lose it, and so I have to do it now. So, but what do I do? But but please go and definitely make sure that you go and watch Caleb. Listen to his music, sub to him, because without him, I wouldn't have been able to write this story. And so, because I have a very soft spot for singers, but male singers in particular have a very soft spot in my heart, and so that's the reason why he sparked the idea for this type of story. But not only that, but he also had the idea first. I just took it and created my own scenario with a deeper impact of a fan um, being delusional and unstable and unable to see what he was really doing because he wanted. Because in all reality, he didn't know what he wanted. He just wanted Caleb. Not sure why, but he just wanted him. And so it would it was interesting doing that first book, writing from that point of view, because it is that easy to cross over that fine line. Uh, that's a very dangerous road to be on, and so it comes down to people having morals, understanding that people need respect, even though they are online providing entertainment. Um, Everything doesn't belong to you. They still deserve their privacy. Come on then. Come on. Come on. Good boy. And so it's also a very poignant story for what's been going on with where I'm at going into this streaming and YouTube kind of lifestyle. It just it's true to some aspects. I've seen it all over, so um I'm trying to think of more things to say. I don't know what else to say. No, don't click that, baby. Um all I can say is I'm very happy with how this story turned out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Um, the next my next thing that I'm gonna do is this story. I'm gonna put it into one entire thing where it's one book and give it to an editor to actually edit it uh, all the way through. Because when I publish this stuff uh, for the internet, it's mainly just me who edits, and I don't edit the best, but I do the best I can. But our quest is to actually get it published. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to prepare it and actually send it to Caleb. Hopefully he'll read it, and if he approves, if he wants something changed, I'll change it. But I feel like the story needs to be seen, need to be read, and so that's the next thing in set for this story. So and then once that happens, I will take it off of online, and it'll be available wherever it is. So, but I did that a lot, but damn it. I really don't know. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm very, very proud of these stories that I did and didn't lose them. I think that's one thing that I'm more proud of. Not just the first one. The first one is fine. It's the second one that uh surprised me, because it wasn't even a year after the first one. It was 10 months, and then I had stuff intervene, but yet I still finished the story and got it out there. Because normally I'll finish a story, but I'll leave it there to collect dust for, years and never go back to it. So I think they're changing with how I'm writing and how I do things, so I'm looking forward to it. And I don't know how to put links in oh wait, again, I can put it in chat, can I? I think I can. I don't know. But if anything, if you did go to my channel and click on the trailer, all the links are there for both books and for Caleb's channel to go check him out. But the next thing on my list is doing the Unas Honest story that I want to do. I finally have a pinpoint of where I'm going with that, and so I feel like I can write it. So that's the next thing in mind. And then that will open up avenue for Jack's story, which the YouTube game is no longer is done. I've lost that story. I want to give it the treatment that I have done for Caleb's story as not an escape, and so I want to give it time to grow. So all in good time, that stuff will come out. But for the time being, go read the books, go check out Caleb, and actually let's do this really quick. Let me move this down a little bit. Whoops, wrong one. Hold on. There we go. We're gonna watch the trailer. Um. Hold on. It's something's wrong. Um. There was something about the trailer. I had many different ideas to do it. There were I had like three different ideas on how to do it, but I never could center on one until after I finished the book. I was able to come up with this one that I came up with. Um, However, I did have a different. I had different music. I had one single track, and I think it went for like 4 minutes 19 seconds, so it didn't cover the entire video. But some of the music hit points, but it didn't hit the right point, and I'll point them out as we continue. Because like that transition, I just needed. I When it comes to doing this stuff, I love doing this. I love telling story with music, and that is for me that is the most impactful thing you can do is using music to tell stories. And so I had to have the right beats for these parts. So, and then also the visuals do a lot. So and when I that's one thing when I edit, I center on like, hey, stop it. Catch a friend underneath the desk, and I'm worried they're gonna pull out my entire system. Um, when I edit, I pick, I go searching for a clip, and I find like 3 or 4 different videos, and then just use those. And so that's one thing that Caleb does. He does really good at just being showing emotion. So it was really easy to find clips to kind of move the story forward along with the music. So to trying to elicit emotion is something that very hard for people to do, but I'm hoping I nailed it with this one. That's all I hope. Because I know it got me, especially on this one. When it came to that part, it took me forever to find that loud crescendo to do that. I still don't think I nailed it as good as I wanted to, but I think I did it well enough to where it got the point across. The the fun thing about this one as opposed to the first one, I think this one you can go back and watch after you've read the story and just kind of and see that struggle. Of course, if you guys haven't read the story, you won't, you know, it it show you what's in there, the struggle that Caleb is going through, and so after it's being read, it just makes it a lot more poignant. And there were some points where I did mix two different songs just because it had a feel that I wanted, and then just tapered off into a continuation. So just one thing that I like to do is just play with music and making stuff, just telling the story. So when it came to this part is I wanted to show that Caleb did put up a fight. There was a fight going on. I didn't know how to do it, and so I went with what I did, and I still don't think I did it correctly, but I think I got the point across at least. I mean, there's other thing that I could have done, but I'm hopefully, I got it across. So it took me a while to be able to denoise the music so we could hear Caleb singing, but and so I could clip the music enough to where it didn't get caught for copyright issue. But I wanted that piece of the song just because that is one of my favorite parts of Let Me Through, and concerning that it's in the story, and so and the gunshot at the end, is something just to spark interest in the story because it's in there. It's just you don't know what's happening. So and then just have that. So yeah. So the trailer, it was fun to make, but I think I could have done it a lot better. I could have done it a lot smoother, but it was just how it came out, and so I enjoy it. I think it's good. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. I'm pretty sure there's more stuff I want to say, and I just need to get used to doing this. So what I want to do is after I'm done actually finishing a story, I want to come on and do a stream talking about it, just to get insight about just what went on in my life, and you know why the story is there, because for this story, there is a reason behind it. Not saying that all that whatever I write there is a reason behind it. Like for Jack's story, that is pure entertainment. There is a slight moral to it, but it is mainly just for pure entertainment. And so, as unlike this one has a reason to be written. And it's not just an escape for myself, which is very, very nice. So I think that's all for me today. If I just continue rambling on, it's gonna go back in a loop, and I don't want to do that. I've already done that a couple times already. So I thank you guys for watching this and reading the book and watching the trailer. And do go back after you've read The Phantom. Go back and watch the trailer and see what it does, because it will be interesting. Because I wish that there's sometimes when I see things that I made, and it's like I wish I didn't have the context of it and just watched it like you guys without context and see how it was. But it is what it is. So all right, thank you guys. I will see you guys um possibly tomorrow with Scott. Nope. Uh, if I do a stream, it'll be an early stream like now. Because I have movie night tomorrow night. So I think we'll jump into Skyrim probably tomorrow for a couple hours. I think it'll be just grinding levels before I go into the Black Star. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow then. Thank you for watching.